So in today's video, I'm going to give you a complete breakdown and walkthrough of every single price of every single thing I had done to this property. So this drive was previously just horrendous. It was a terrible drive. And I have had it tarmacked all the way to the front on this side. I have had an edging stone put all the way around. I have had this stone laid, and I have had this fence panel, and they've gone all the way to the front door with the pillars and the gravel boards. The total cost of this drive came in at £16,000. I always talk about how expensive drives and gardens can be. So many people overlook what the actual cost is. Now, if you look at the property, you can see that I have had this rendered on all three sides because it's a semi-detached house. Now, this is monocouche rendering, which means you have a base coat and then you have this on top as the finish, which is monocouche. I paid £5,800 to have that done like that. Now, other things that you can see from the front of this house, I have had new fascia and new guttering around all the tops and all the pipes coming down. That cost me £1,750. And then obviously, new windows and new doors. Now, I had a full window package, which consisted of all new windows in anthracite grey, a composite front door and a PVC back door. That came in at £6,800. And to top it off, I had an electric garage door fitted as well. That cost me £750. Straight inside the property now, I'm going to talk about what we had done in here. So first things first, it was a very old-fashioned property, and we had lots of wood paneling, we had a hallway, the kitchen was over here, there was a small dining room here, and the lounge was that side. So I had this knocked out, which was the hallway, and I created this open plan living area. The kitchen was removed from here to over there. Now, when we had the structural engineer come in and we explained what we wanted done, we took the house back to brick because obviously we had it stripped out. Now, to give you guys an indication of a strip out charge, we paid £3,000 to have this whole house stripped out completely back to brick. When it went back to brick, we could see that there was something wrong with the existing extension, which was this part at the front. So what we had to do is we had to reinforce the brickwork, and we had to have a goalpost system fitted. So it's underground here, up the walls there with the dog legs, and the steel across the top. That cost me £6,000 on top of what I was already budgeting, because we didn't know that. It was an unforeseen circumstance. The steel here with the architect cost me £500 to get done and have the calculations. So we've got flooring, guys. As you can see, throughout the whole of this property, we have tiles, carpets, and laminate flooring. £50 a square metre is what I budget. The whole of this property to get done comes to around £4,000. Then we had a brand new central heating system fitted, which consisted of a brand new boiler, all brand new radiators, and this radiator is lovely and warm, by the way, and all of the pipe work to all of the plumbing facilities in here. So your showers, your baths, your taps, and all the rest that comes along with plumbing. That cost me £4,500. Then we lead on to, as you can see, spotlights is one of my favourite things, which come under electrics. And we went for the chrome sockets to finish. We had a complete rewire done. We had a whole new system fitted. That cost me £4,000. These double doors here, guys, was going to be left as just an open, and I wasn't going to have these double doors fitted. But when I walked in 2 weeks before the end of the project, I saw this, and looking at the end user, I was like, we have to have a separation. So we had these doors fitted, which I think are a really nice feature. I really like them. I think it gives more of a wow factor in the property. These Cost me £700 to have done. These are fire doors as well, by the way. And it leads us into the kitchen. Now, this is where we removed it from that side and we put it into this side. This is a real wow factor. This looks incredible. Now, this is a kitchen from Howden's, and I had the worktop as the splashback, and then we had a hob, an oven, and an extractor fan. In here, guys, is the new boiler that I talked about. This kitchen, with fitting, it cost me £5,600. Now, Howden's is really good quality. I like Howden's for certain levels of houses. This house is valued at around £350,000. Obviously, will it sell at £350 in the market today? No idea. The market's not where it used to be. But yeah, that was the kitchen. These are the floor tiles that we went for in here. I think they're pretty cool. And it just gives a really, really, really nice finish. Open plan, really nice, really inviting, and I just like it. I think it's awesome. Also, guys, the whole property, as I said, went back to brick, which meant that we had the whole house reboarded and plastered fully, ceilings and walls. This cost me £6,500, and the finish in this property is exceptional. So we're into one of the bedrooms, and we have the skirting board, we have the architrave, we have the internal doors, full carpentry throughout the entire property because it was back to brick. And all of the carpentry cost me £3,250. So we're into the bathroom, and as you can see, I've had all of the walls tiled, the floor obviously been tiled, because I don't understand why people would have laminate or vinyl if you're doing a BRR or a flip project. Buy to let maybe, but tiles is what I like. In here we have a 4-piece bathroom, which means we have a bath, a sink, toilet, and a shower as well. That was an airing cupboard, and I made use of the space to add a shower. I think it makes the bathroom a lot more appealing, and especially if you've got a family, showers are a lot quicker than a bath. And I'm not a fan of having the shower over the bath. It's just something about it that I don't like. Now, this bathroom with fitting, it cost me £3,000, and the tiles with labour and supply of the tiles cost me £1,250. So internally, the final thing in this property is the decorating. Now, the decorating consists of painting all the walls, painting all the ceilings, painting all the skirting, painting all the architrave, all the door frames, but I don't paint my internal doors white or a colour. I just varnish them. And having a great decorator is what brings your property to life. You need to make sure that your decorator is on point. You need to make sure your decorator is top level, because if you've got any problems in the property, like you're not happy with the way a skirting's put together, as long as it's not horrendous, and you might have some imperfections in the walls, a good decorator or a great decorator can make it look 10 out of 10. Now, to have this whole house done throughout, it cost us £3,000. Now, usually I would pay about £2,500, but the reason it cost £3,000 is because I had multiple layers done afterwards. I got them to come back in and give it another coat after it was finished because I just wanted it to be exceptional. Did it need another coat? Maybe not. Maybe that was my OCD kicking in, but again, I did it. So £3,000 is what I paid, but usually it's around the £2,500 mark. That's with all of the paint supplied by the decorators and all done with the labour. So now we're outside in the garden, and I went for a different type of slab. I usually use porcelain, but again, it has to be to the level of the property and the value. So you have to make sure that you budget correctly. So in this garden, I had all this slabbing done. I had brand new fence panels again with gravel boards and the pillars. I had fresh turf laid, but I also had these white tiles on the front of the existing brick. Instead of knocking it down and rebuilding, I added a feature. Now, I think it looks amazing. I actually do think this garden looks really, really, really cool. And this garden cost me £9,000 all in. I think it was 8,800, but I want to say 9,000 just to give you guys a rough estimate. So if you think the front garden cost me 16,000 and this cost me 9,000, that's £25,000. That's what I spent on the front and back gardens. And again, a lot of people think that you can do certain things for like £2,000, £3,000, £4,000. So make sure you budget correctly, make sure you understand the prices. This video should give you a clear indication of where everything needs to be at. I have just walked you through the whole property and I've explained exactly how much every individual item cost me. Now, the total of that was £55,400. That's what it cost internally and externally with the windows, doors, renders, fascia and guttering. Then I told you that this cost me 16,000, the front garden. The rear garden cost me 9,000, so there's another £25,000, meaning that the whole renovation from start to finish cost me £80,000. So if you guys want to learn how to do property development and property investment correctly, you need to learn from people like me who actually do this. We are real property developers. I have the Property Circle Development Tour this month. £99 a ticket, you get to come to this property and see personally with your own eyes to see how good I am at actually what I do. And then also you get to come to 4 more of my latest developments. I talk you through it, I explain what I've done to buy it, I explain to you where all my problems were, how I overcome them, how I fixed it. It's real life.